So first thing I want you to do, so we're going to focus on that frozen shoulder on that right side. So let's take that mobility wall down, and I want it just below your chin height. It's pretty easy to move once it's set to your door frame, right?
One of the things that has happens fairly consistency is the lock little thing seems to come unlocked.
So you actually, so when you're using the rollers, you don't have to engage the lock ring. So don't worry about engaging that for right now. The only time you need to engage that is when you're using the trigger point receiver.
Okay.
When you're using and you have the attachments there too.
Right, I've got them all in school.
Okay,
right
perfect. We'll get to those, but so here's what I want to focus on. The first thing I want to focus on is that upper right trap and the levator scap. So I want you to turn to your left, facing inside towards the door frame, and you're going to put your right trap up underneath that roller. Okay, good. And we're going to go real slow with these movements, right? So you're going to just slowly massage that roll back and forth. And what we're going to first do here is just soften and loosen that tissue a little bit, almost like we're using it sort of like a rolling pin, rolling out pizza dough. I just want to loosen up some of that tissue up in that upper trap. How's that feeling up there?
Good.
Good. And this is one of my favorite unique factors about mobility wall is the fact that you can put upward pressure into this device.
Right.
It's one of my favorite ways to get the pressure on this. Good. Okay, so let's come to a static position. Let's get nice and tall up underneath that roller. Keep the head straight. And I want you to place upward pressure into that roller. And then you're going to slowly take your chin down to your chest. And then you're going to sweep your chin to your left shoulder. And then you're going to look up to the ceiling, up to the left side, nice and slow. Nope, keep your head to the left side though. So you sweep your chin down and then look up to the left-hand corner there. So you should be feeling a stretch in those scalenes in your neck right now.
Right.
Feel all that pulling out?
Uh-huh.
Excellent. Now, I want you to hold that position. I want you to take your right arm and put it dead straight down by your side, your right side. Okay. And now slowly lateral raise that right arm out to the side while your head is turned to the left. There we go. Bring that arm back just a little bit behind you. So you've got a little bit of what, you know this term, anterior rotation, where your shoulders rolled forward, right? So when you go to raise your arm, you're raising it a little bit more in front of you, and I want to try to keep it on the side of your body there.
Now, when I'm doing this, I'm getting pain right here.
So you got the upper bicep tendon is tight too, because that shoulder is so rotated forward that upper shoulder, that upper bicep tendon and the chest is really, really tight. So hold that position right there, Richard, with that arm. And I want you to externally rotate your hand. So turn that hand. So yep. Good. Now let's internally rotate it. Good. So see here, it's easier for you to internally rotate, right?
Right.
Because you've already got a lot of internal rotation on that shoulder. And so what we need more of to fix that frozen shoulders, we need more external rotation.
Correct.
And so loosening up all this tissue is going to help to improve your mobility and range of motion of that shoulder capsule so that we can start to achieve and accomplish a little bit more external rotation. Good. Take your right hand and can you chicken wing it behind your back? Bring it behind. There you go. And if you need your left hand to grab that wrist, you can reach around that left hand and grab that wrist a little.
Okay.
Good. And now if you hinge over at the hips just a little bit, and I want that roller to get a little bit more on the back side of that trapezius muscle while you've got that shoulder and internal rotation there. There we go. How's that feeling up there?
I have to modulate, otherwise it gets too painful.
Yep, that's okay. That's how I want you to navigate this, right? I want you to find some spots. Remember, I know that we don't want to hang in the pain, but when we find an area that's painful, we know that that's indicating that the muscle's really tight. So exactly. That's our way of being able to scan the body. You find those pain spots and you know that that's an area that you want to focus on. There we go. Excellent. Now bring that arm out from that side, from behind you. Good. Now, I want you to keep upward pressure into that roller. Take the left hand down. Okay, now what we're going to do here is we're going to put pressure up into that shoulder, up into that foam roller. And then on the count of 3, I want you to, you're going to push your body. You're going to exhale and slowly push your body forward and let the foam roller do a posterior shear of your trapezius muscle. So you're going to let that roller grab that trapezius muscle and push it back. There we go. Good. Nice and slow with this stuff. Now turn your head slowly to the left. Good. Nice and slow with those movements. We're moving a lot of tissue, and you're moving a lot of stuff in that cervical spine as well right now.
Mhm.
Good. Even take the chin down to chest a little bit. How's that feeling in there?
Good.
Yeah. So when you've got anterior rotation of that shoulder, that trapezius muscle is stuck up forward and high on your shoulders. So pulling this off of the cervical spine, pulling it off of the clavicle, off your collarbone, starting to move it, manipulate it, get it off the backside of that scapula. There you go. Playing around with all of that neck mobility.
I'm glad we're doing this because I would have never figured this out on my own.
You would never have thought of doing this. I know. This is why I'm telling you, there's a lot of value in being able to take you through these paces. That looks great. Excellent. So now that you've got that posterior shear going back and forth, let's do the next step, okay? So the next step is let's bring the foam roller down. I want to bring it down to chest height. I'll show you where I want you to bring it, like almost like mid nipple, right about there. Perfect. Now we're going to get the small ball attachment. Okay.
So then I want to lock this, correct?
So yeah, let's get the ball. Let's put the ball in first, and then we'll do the lock ring. Or, I'm sorry. Put the lock in first. My apologies. Put the lock in there first. So you line that up with the keyholes.
There it is.
Excellent. Great. Now let's put the ball in, and it just uses friction fit. So you can just pop it in first. And you know how to change the tension on the on that cam lock.
Yes.
So there's a finger nut on the back side of that. You saw?
Right. Right.
Okay. So you want to make sure that's got a really good tight grip. So I don't know how does it feel? Pretty tight on there?
Pretty tight.
Okay, great. So I want that ball facing straight out towards you horizontally. Is it?
It is. I'm going to raise it just good. Yes.
Do it like 5 degrees down.
Okay.
There we go. Good. Now, so where you just said you have some tension in that bicep, what you were feeling was that referral pain going down that brachial nerve, because that whole upper bicep tendon is locked in, roll tight, pinched in by that front shoulder capsule. So we're going to open up the whole front pec and front delt and upper bicep. So I want you to squat down just a little bit, and let's get that ball into that front right pec shoulder. And you're going to use your legs as the driver into this device. So bring your arm to 90 degrees, that right arm. Good. And while you've got that pressure in there, you can take that arm straight up. See if you can keep it behind the door frame. So you're going to sort of pull that shoulder. There you go. How are we feeling in there?
It's tight.
Tender, yeah?
And a little bit tender and tight. And as you can see, I've got a very limited range of motion.
Of course, yep. So that
90% more motion than I had a week ago.
Well, what's great about this is actually the door frame is going to actually serve as a training wheel for you in terms of helping you find that range of motion. So if you're going up overhead and you're hitting the door frame, you know you need a little bit more squeeze and activate, a little bit more external rotation of that shoulder, and make sure that you're passing the door frame.
Right.
Right? So now I'm actually going to have you, instead of keeping your arm at 90, put your arm straight out to the side on the other side of the door frame. Now you can bring it all the way down, slowly, right? Slowly articulate it up. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Good. How's that feeling in there?
Good. And the pectoralis minor, I've got a really, it's really hypertonic.
Yep.
It feels like a, like a cooked sausage when I
Yeah.
palpate the skin.
Great analogy. Good. And I would even let that ball go up a little bit higher to where that pec minor comes across right into the top of that shoulder, that front delt. There you go. The look on your face tells me everything.
Well, it's not really painful. It is anticipation of pain.
Yeah, no, I get it. But it's also, it feels good because you know you're doing some good stuff for the body, right? I mean,
Right.
we know that inherently people who don't feel well are also people who don't move well. And so improving the way you move can certainly improve the way you feel. As we
Right.
get older, part of what makes us feel strongly connected to the aging process is our lack of mobility and our
Yep.
limitations in our activity. And
Yep.
and that just comes from people's innate instincts to want to tighten up and stop moving when they feel pain. And the reality is that we need to move more.
And and intellectually, I know that and used to teach it. And yet I am coming off about 6 weeks of, I would spend most of every day laying flat on my back, reading a book or watching television because it hurt to move.
Yeah.
And I, in order to get over this, I need to move, but it hurts too much.
Oh yeah.
And the massage gun, frankly, was the tool that got me past that stage, because I'm not sure I could have done this before I spent several days with the massage gun and stretching. And I agree with what you said. The gun by itself is not going to do it. Going to the massage therapist and laying on the table and going to sleep is never going to make you better.
Totally agree.
So anyway.
Totally agree. All right, great. So let's give the pec and the front shoulder a little bit of a breather. So let's take the ball out. And you know that it just uses friction fit technology, so you can just pull it right out, okay? So the other area I want you to hit is you're just gonna place, almost taking the same position as you did with the ball. You're gonna keep your palm facing forward, and you're gonna put the upper part of that shoulder and front bicep right into that roller, right there. There you go. Don't go all the way down the bicep though. Just stay up in that upper range, right up in there. How's that feel up in there?
Good.
Yeah.
And and this bicipital tendon pain, it has been, I've worked on that, and I haven't been able to remediate it. I've lessened it some, but it's still there.
Right.
And I'm saying, okay, well, is that a teres or a latissimus or a trapezius attachment?
We're about to get into your teres, your lat, and your tricep right after this.
Okay.
It's a combination. So it's
exactly.
referral pain there. I want you to rotate and open up that way. There you go. How's that feel up in there? Great.
Good.
And what's great about you, there's nothing on the market that you can do this type of work with.
I agree.
So being able to be up on your feet, get these angles so comfortably as you are right now, you feel pretty relaxed while you're doing this and be able to really concentrate on what you're focusing on. I mean, this is it right here. I'm really excited about 10, 15 minutes when we're done hitting everything to see how you're moving that shoulder. There we go, that front delt. So to your point, the lat, the tricep, and that teres, that all gets super tight and locks in that subscap. And then by proxy, what happens, that shoulder rolls forward and gets stuck. And because it's staying in that forward position, these muscles just get tight on their own.
Yep.
And so they all trigger each other and work in conjunction. So to release that shoulder, we need to hit all of these areas. I mean, it's impossible for us to provide content for every single individual. But this is why I enjoy doing the work that I do. Like again, like I said, at the early stage right now of our company, I have the ability to reach out personally to customers,
Right.
clients, and practitioners and work them through this process. And we're going to continue to keep improving all of our education platforms so that we're speaking to everybody and everybody understands the value of what this product can do. So, I appreciate your time with this, and this is going to be really valuable, I think, for a lot of people as well. So thank you for allowing us to record this session and share this on our platform. So let's move on to the next area. So this might be one of my favorite positions I love. I'm going to see if you can do it. You might not be able to hit this position, but can you get your right arm back like you're going to stretch that tricep? And now I want you to turn your right side directly to the foam roller. Now, don't think about coming on top. I want you to think about stepping your feet away from the device just a little bit and think about putting inward pressure into the roller. You're going to put inward pressure into it and then go all the way down. Keep going all the way down though, Richard, right? Go all the way. No, sorry. Go all the way down the arm, down the tricep to the tip of the elbow. There we go. So now you're getting into that. There's the tricep at the insertion of the elbow, and then you're working in that teres and that upper lat right there. How's that feeling?
That's great.
Incredible, right?
Yeah, and again, this I would have stumbled onto this, but I really appreciate the individual instruction. And right here, there's an area right in there.
There's your teres right there.
Grumpy muscle, and this is a grumpy muscle.
Yep, that teres section up there, that's a big proponent of locking up that shoulder. Good. Go nice and slow. Go real slow through that little section in there. Good. And Richard, if you start to rotate, turn your body a little bit to the left, right? I want you to even come back on it even just a little bit right there. Yep. And using those legs as your main driver. There you go. Now, another way I like to sometimes do this, if you had a band, I don't know if you have a TheraBand or something, I would put the band in your right hand and use your left arm behind you to draw that arm back even farther into activation. There we go. Exactly. Now try to pull down a little bit more with that left hand so you get that right arm even more. There we go. The farther you can get that shoulder back, the better.
So even in high school, I was never able to touch my right arm and left hand behind my back in this position.
Yeah.
My left, I could get the fingernails to almost touch together.
Almost.
But I've had this type of lack of mobility since I was in school.
Yeah. How's that feeling in there? Pretty good?
Good.
All right, we'll give you another 10 more seconds on that. I'm going to move you on to the next. You could probably sit there all day on this one.
Yes, yeah, that's good.
Great. Okay, so let's take the roller down just a little bit more, like another inch or so. Down, a little bit, tiny bit more. Sorry, maybe another. Yeah, right about right there. Perfect. Excellent. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the anterior serratus with the lat. Okay, so you're gonna take your right anterior serratus. We're gonna put that right arm up over your head, turn sideways. Okay, so from here, this is just like what we did with the roller on your trap, and we did that posterior shear of the trap. I want you to hook your lat and your serratus into the roller, and then you're gonna let go of your left hand though, Richard, right? And look at me. And you're gonna open up with your left, but let that foam roller pull that lat and serratus back. There we go. And you're gonna exhale when you rotate, right? So let's release the nervous system, relax, rotate, and let that roller shear back. Good. Yeah, I actually put your legs into a scissor stance. I think they are. Looks like they probably are. Yeah, so if you put your right leg forward, left leg back into a
Well,
scissor stance.
there, I see what you want.
There we go. And make sure, so come back onto that. There you go. You feeling that in there now? Good. Feeling it pull that serratus and lat back? There it is. How's that feeling in there?
Good.
Amazing, right?
It is.
Come back to that back, the roller in the back, the one behind you in the backside.
I'm not sure I know.
So the one in the front is right next to you. So come to the back roller, the one back here. Yep, right there. Focus on that one. Just let that hook, try to stay in control, scissor stance, and just really slowly rotate and let it almost get that pull. I want you to think about it. But my hands were grabbing your lat and pulling it back.
Right.
There we go. That's the move right there. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Make sure you're exhaling as you're rotating. Good. Go back to neutral. Start over again. Give me another one. There you go. I love how you just went up just a little bit higher up into that subscap. Yes, sir. Unbelievable. How's that feeling?
Good.
Excellent. Why don't you come off of that for 1 second, okay? And just move that shoulder a little bit, just how you would normally move it in the past would feel some restrictions in that shoulder. See how it feels in comparison.
It's a lot better.
We're gonna work one more section. But how does that range of motion feel compared to how it normally is?
So when I got out of bed this morning, my external rotation on this shoulder stopped at about here. And now it's almost to 90 degrees. It's about 85, 86 degrees.
Great.
Some pain there right in here when I do that.
Sure. Still tight. I mean,
it's improved.
Like we talked about, it's time and consistency that will start to affect this. Right. So hitting these areas on a daily basis and really focusing on that, it's going to help to improve that. So the last one I want to focus on for you and show you is how to use this roller using upward pressure, the same way we did for the trap. But here's how you're going to do it. You're going to turn and face outside the doorway into the hallway. Okay.
This way?
Nope. Completely the opposite, like completely the other way. So your back is to me.
Okay.
Yep. Let's move over to the right. So you're in between the middle of the two rollers, right? Okay. Good. Now I want you to hinge your hips and push your butt through the door in like towards the camera. And you're going to go underneath the roller. Keep coming under, keep coming under. Now stop right there. Now slowly put pressure on the right side up into those rollers. Now, arguably, if we want to take a little more pressure off of your legs, because I know your legs are probably doing a little bit of work right now too, that we could take the roller up a little bit higher and it might be easier.
I'm going to do that just for the sake of comfort.
Okay, let's go up maybe 3 inches. Good. But you see where I'm going with this one, right?
Right.
So as you go underneath that bar and you're putting up, now start to put some upward pressure, drive some force up in there. There you go. Now you can keep your left hand on your knee, take your right hand and reach across and grab your left shoulder and keep your hand right there on that left shoulder while you're getting into that section. And you can also, don't forget to play around with some of that neck mobility too. Take that head maybe to the left side while you're working that area and go nice and slow on that, Richard. There you go. How's that feeling in there?
Good. And there's a spot right here.
Yep.
That is really grumpy.
The mid-trap rhomboid.
Yep.
All of that locking up that shoulder blade. So this whole little segment that we did, you could build a nice little daily routine
Yep.
15, 20-minute routine, you know, now that you sort of know how to navigate it, as a way to really start to unwind and open up and free that shoulder. I'd be willing to bet you give yourself a week of this routine and that shoulder is going to be feeling almost brand new.
Yep. Well, one of the things I intend to do today is in my kit of tools as a massage therapist, I have a chart that lets you record. It tells you what the normal range of motion is for each articulation throughout the body.
Yep.
And it lets you record the date and the degrees of mobility at that session.
That's great.
Go through and record range of motion throughout each of my articulations and then compare them 2 or 3 or 4 weeks from now.
That's great. Love it. That'll be some good, give you some good metrics.
Right.
I'd love to see that data in like a week or two.
Exactly.
How's that feeling? You find some good spots in there?
Yes, this is good. So I have one of my other limitations is, especially in my right leg, and I'm going to change the camera here just a little bit.
Sure.
The amount of internal femur rotation that should be able to go out to about 30 degrees.
Correct.
And I can just barely get 5 degrees.
Right.
So,
so you've got that internal rotation of that shoulder capsule. So that's also pulling that lat in, which is also pulling in that QL. It's internally rotating that hip. So for completely locking up all the way up and down that chain.
Exactly.
So opening up your obliques, your psoas, the QL on that back right side, even at the top of the quad, that up the top of the quad with the rectus femoris, the sartorius insertion, you know, the glute med, PFL, like that whole section in there. Working on that area. If you took that foam roller, let's take that foam roller down real quick. Let's move it down to about mid thigh. We may need to adjust the camera. Mid thigh, right about there. Good. I don't know if we might have to adjust the camera frame. I think it's a little, sorry.
Yeah.
So let's turn your right side to the bar. Let's bend your right knee and take that right foot off the ground. And you got your hand on the doorway?
Yeah.
Good. Now, you're going to squat, use your left leg as the driver. So you're going to use that to drive inward and upward pressure into that roller. Good. And let that roller go all the way into that hip. So get a little bit higher up on that hip. Go down. Right in there, right in that section, right up there.
Yep. No.
You feel that?
Yep.
Now, how great is that? Because trying to do that on the ground to control the weight and the pressure and the gravity, really tough to do.
Exactly.
But in the standing position, super easy for you to get into that hip. Does that feel pretty good up there?
It does. And I was doing some of this morning.
Yep.
But I just wanted to see if you had any more specific ideas.
I would actually have you rotate a little bit more to the roller, just a touch. Just keep that same kind of concept of what you're doing, but rotate more to the camera. Like you're going to keep coming. Good. Take that leg off the ground, the right leg off the ground, and bring it back behind you though. Bring it back behind you. Yeah. There you go. Lean into that upper section up in that. Yep. Keep going. A little higher. Right up in there. There it is. How's that feeling in there?
Good.
Feel pretty easy to do? I mean, you're really working this thing very well. I mean, the key in what I want people to understand is that it allows you to do it in a fashion where you can, I call it body language, right? The body is giving you feedback. It's speaking to you. And
Exactly.
so most people don't know how to speak body language. They don't know how to listen to their body. They don't know how to map certain areas of pain or discomfort or lack of range of motion or mobility. So when their body is giving them information, they're not sure what it's saying. They don't know how to translate that. So I know it's a big goal and a big task to try to educate a market, but our aim is to, through our education platform, and also by making this device very easy to use and intuitive in a sense,
Right.
that gives people the ability to empower them to take control of their body and get more connected to their body so that they can start speaking their body language and really learning how to improve their own issues that they're suffering from, much like what we discussed.
Chris,
If you go to an orthopedic surgeon, what do you think they're going to often recommend? Surgery.
surgery,
That's what
exactly.
they do, right?
Yeah.
And in some cases, they're not wrong. But for people who don't want to go down that road and aren't looking for a quick fix and are okay with putting in the work and putting in the effort and trying to heal and fix their body, you can do it oftentimes. A lot of the work you can do on your own, at least to get yourself into a place of not being in so much pain and discomfort and being able to do things in your life that you would normally want to get back to doing. Maybe not the same level, but at least you're not putting yourself through an unnecessary procedure and experiencing downtime as opposed to putting in a little bit of effort. So I'm glad that we took the time, just for any of the viewers that are going to see this at first, how you just weren't quite sure about the product and the device. And I reached out to you personally because I wanted to show you, that there is some real true value and differentiating factors about this product that can really help improve the way people are moving. We're not just some fly by night company that came up with like a one hit wonder tchotchke product. We really, we spent 2 years and years and years of, knowledge and expertise building and designing this product, and combined the education that we have on our team that we put into this device. We've got some incredible people. Lenny Parasino, who you've seen on our videos,
Right.
He's a god in the soft tissue movement manual world. I mean, it's anybody who sees Lenny and knows Lenny, knows his affiliations. He works with the Los Angeles Clippers. He's affiliated with the Grays Institute. We've put a lot into this product. It's not just some quick hit, one hit. And we have several other products that we built and developed into our ecosystem that we'll be rolling out over the next year to 2 years.
So a question then, Chris, is when you share the link to this video, are you posting this on YouTube or my question is do I have your permission? Will I be able to post this video, for example, on my Facebook page?
Please do. Please do. You should be able to share this on your Facebook page. So I'll share this with you, post it on your Facebook page. You can share it on YouTube. We'll share it on all of our social media platforms as well.
My life goal is to teach people how to remediate chronic pain, preferably through self-care, so that they're not spending a ton of money on therapists who may or may not actually be addressing the causes of the symptoms.
Yeah, I can echo that. And I think that, one of the things I really like to make known is that Mobility Wall is not coming in to suggest that, massage therapy and physical therapy and chiropractic. We're not trying to eliminate any of these practices. We're also not trying to eliminate existing tools on the market. I think that there's a place for every tool and device out there. I think that what we've done is we've identified a gap and we've filled a space that nobody is really has figured out. And so we figured it out as a way to complement and really round out and create a device that can hit areas of your body and give people the ability to focus on their bodies in ways that you're not able to with other devices. And so we're just stepping into the playground with everybody else.
Well, and I like the way that you present that, Chris, because all of the other therapies and modalities, they all have their use and function.
Absolutely.
And whoever it was that and I'm going to paraphrase, we get more of what we put energy into. Mm-hmm. And so when we put energy into laying supine on the bed reading a book, we get more of that. And when we put energy into pain-free movement and self-care, then we achieve pain-free movement. And it is finding the personal motivation to get off the couch or the bed and actually do the work. And it's my absolute conviction, even as a practicing massage therapist, those clients who laid on the table and wanted me to do something to them got far less results than those clients who actively participated in the therapy. And that's what I like about this tool, is
Nailing
you're
it.
actively participated in your own therapy.
That's a great that's a great way to tag this segment. I think that's phenomenal. I love the way you just articulated that, and I couldn't agree more. So, thanks again for your time. Let's please make sure we keep in touch. I appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Move better, feel well. Keep me posted.
Okay.
All right.
Getting a copy of the video. Thank you.
I'll send it over right now.
Thank you, Chris.
Take care, Richard.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.